Welcome to HorrorTube. I am Josh.
And I'm Rob. And that's all you get for a fucking intro because we don't do that on HorrorTube.
HorrorTube.
First, I would like to start off the episode by saying thank you to Josh for being an amazing person and giving me a really cool present today.
Oh, yes.
Making me happy. Got a little food in my belly.
Friends.
Got some coffee in my hands.
Did you eat sugar?
Got some... Huh?
Did you eat sugar?
No, I'm Gucci, baby. This is like a bunch of creamer. We got some good weed going. What was it that you had today, sir?
We will be enjoying some Batman.
Ooh, some Batman. And we've already been enjoying some Tiger's Milk produced by my friend Dr. Dre.
That sounds awful. The names are just so weird. Tiger's Milk.
Tiger's Milk. So yeah, man. We're feeling pretty good. We got good vibes going. Jose came to visit today, my friend Jose, our friend Jose. It's a pretty good time today, man. We're going to be covering our top 10 favorite horror films.
Our old list from our you can put it on too.
Yeah, our old list from when we were just doing it for the Riffing on Horror Network. Because I was going to do a show called, What's Your Favorite Scary Movies?
Okay.
I was testing it out on Instagram Live and everything, and at that point I didn't have like Squadcast, or I didn't even know about Audible, or not Audible, but that other one that we used. The free one.
Oh, Audacity?
No. The Mixer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I didn't know about that program. Well, I was like testing it out, doing it on Instagram Live, and for a lot of horror fans, apparently they don't like talking about their favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
So I would get on live and only a couple people would be there and shit. It didn't seem worth it. So in promotion ahead of time for the podcast, I had everybody create like their top 10 favorite horror films.
Mm-hmm.
And we all came up with some fucking banger lists. Like, we're not going to read everybody's. If you want to, you can go to the Dormant Riffing on Horror network page on Instagram, and in the little circles, I don't know what they're called.
Stories?
No, not the stories. The stories are in the profile picture. The circles where you can add your own things there. Our top 10s are in that area. So if you want to read everybody's top 10s from the past, feel free to, because they are still there. But that's what the episode's going to be today. We're going to revisit, like Josh said, our old top 10s. And
mine has changed dramatically compared to my first one, because I realized that how much of personal bias took over that one, and a lot of it was more like back in the day I watched it with my family, so it's got sentimental value.
Right.
But now, since I've watched so many and I've gone back and rewatched a lot of the old horror films that I've watched, I think I have a top 10 that I think is actually a top 10, not just like here's just my top 10 favorite movies.
And there's a key phrase that you said in there that I was waiting for you to say.
Mm.
Since we've started doing this a couple years ago.
Which is weird to say.
Almost a couple years ago.
Still weird to say.
Still weird to say. 3 months, man.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Since we started doing this almost 2 years ago, the key there was you've seen many more since 2 years ago. You've watched straight horror movies for like 2 fucking years.
Almost daily, yeah.
But that's the difference between me and you. And that's something that I didn't take into account when I created my top 10 in the past.
Hmm.
It was the difference.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if you know what my top 10 was in the past, you're going to know 90% of my top 10 right now.
I know for sure Scream is on that one.
So, the thing is, a lot of my list didn't change because I have already seen these movies.
Yeah.
Over the last couple years, you've been experiencing them for the first time.
Yeah.
So my list was more complete than I'd even realized when I was doing that. And when I went back to look at my list, I was like, "Dang, they hitting all the spots." Like, and nothing
Okay.
really changed.
Okay.
So it's gonna be the difference is gonna be worth it though.
Because like through all these weeks, I even went back and like I was looking through a list of horror films, and I'm like, I've seen that, and I went back to rewatch a lot of them, and a lot of them are, yeah, they're. I'd say a couple are within the 10-year frame of now, but the other ones are backwards from that in releases. So.
Right. I'm I'm very excited to hear your lists.
Which everyone will have to wait for.
Sorry, just took a
Yeah.
Batman fucked me up, bro. Yeah, we got a little bit of breaking news.
No.
No.
You're hearing it first on HorrorTube.
HorrorTube. You gotta say it right, bro.
Your first experience on HorrorTube.
That was actually him inhaling, and that's the outcome. So, breaking news, hearing it first on HorrorTube.
HorrorTube.
We are going to be in a movie.
Woo!
It is going to be an independent film. And I also have permission to say when the movie's coming out.
Oh, shit.
And the title of the film.
Woo! Wee.
Woo. So, the title of the film is Crimson Nightfall. And it'll be coming out around Halloween of this year.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
My.
So, we're going to be in the movie. And we are going to have a 3-minute scene, like roughly 3 minutes.
Okay.
Pretty serious tone.
Not what you're used to here.
Not what you're used to here.
Wieners and balls.
No. By serious tone, I mean like we're being ourselves, but the tension surrounding it is going to feel like reality.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to give. I'm not going to give anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to say anything. But Josh and I are going to be in a fucking horror movie.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. This is dope.
Big win. Just
Big
to
win.
show how good horror has been for us.
Yeah, man. And I've always said there's enough out here for everybody to eat. You know what I mean? I'm glad that we've had the bits of success that we've had with Horror Wars and now HorrorTube. He's an independent person trying to do an independent film on zero budget. Got you, bro. If we can help promote something,
We in there.
If you want us to be in the fucking movie and all that, bro, we there.
You want to use a portion of our episodes for a background noise?
Yeah.
Hey,
go for it.
just shout us out, man.
It's cool. Yeah, just shout us out. That gets our following bigger. That'll get your following bigger because of crossover fans and shit.
Yep.
Like, it's fucking dope, and everybody grows.
We're all part of a spider web.
We are. We're all part of fucking John Carpenter's tit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alfred Hitchcock's. Like, but yeah. So Movie's gonna be coming out October of this year, and
Which would be around Sam Haines Havoc 3.
which would be around same hands. Same hands. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
we're using our same hands.
Tiger's Milk and Batman be beating ass.
Just choking you out the whole day.
Just
Where's the water?
where's the water? You
Oh.
parched bitch.
Yeah.
Woo.
So yeah. Was there anything else we had for news? Besides the hype for Evil Dead Rise or
The hype for us going to see Evil Dead Rise. We're going to be doing a horror tube from the car.
Probably a parking lot. It's
Huh?
gonna be insane. There's no way we're gonna be able to drive stuff at that shit because we're gonna be so animated.
Dude, but
Hey man.
we got to record it if we drive.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be super fun times in a few weeks. News-wise, I don't think there was anything else that I remember.
Other people already brought weirdly scampy dressed mods into RE4 Remake.
Yeah, for Ashley.
Yeah,
We literally, that's there's news.
Yeah.
We just saw that already. And I was like, isn't she still 15 in this game? And he's like, no, she's an adult. I was like, still doesn't make it better.
Yeah, it just makes me
Because-
think of the original.
Yeah. And you got her bouncing around in a fucking big tittied USA bikini.
La Campana.
Like, what the fuck?
That's what they say in the game. So yeah, not much news.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of these top 10s.
Let's get into these fucking top 10s, brother, man. I want you.
I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you. I want you to do your full-on top 10s.
Okay. Well, since you're more excited for mine, why don't you go first? Since you said yours has the least amount of changes,
All right, we could do that.
and this way you can kind of have the floor with your explanations.
All right. And I don't need the floor, bro. You give me 5 minutes and mine will be done.
Wow, really? Okay.
Probably not even. All right. My number 10 in my old list was Hereditary from 2018.
Which is a fantastic film.
My number 10 on my new list is Hereditary from 2018.
Any particular reason why it's at the 10?
Because it's still one of the best fucking horror movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
And that's literally going to be the reasoning behind all of these.
Okay.
They made me feel a certain way. They performed a certain way at the box office.
Well, at least give a TLDR. I don't want you to rush through your list.
No, yeah. And how they continue to make me feel.
Okay.
That was like my criteria
Okay.
going into it. And I literally found out that, yeah, I got my life. I literally found out that, like I said, 90% of my list is exactly the same.
Okay. So Hereditary. It's just funny because the first time I watched it, I didn't think it was that great of a horror film until I went back and analyzed that shit. I really paid attention.
It's
Especially, I'd say it was in the first year of us doing Horror Wars. We talked about it. And I was like, it was my second time seeing it already. So I was like, yeah, it's really good. I've watched it way more than that. So I get now why it would be in the top 10. So,
yeah, and that's literally like
yeah, it's a good film. Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking ending, the mythology, the insanity.
Mhm.
It's a mind fuck of a movie. So, God damn it. That brings me to my number 9 on my old list, Us from 2019.
I just rewatched that like 3 days ago at work.
And number 9 on my new list is Us from 2019. How it made me feel. The first time I saw that movie, I was just gobsmacked. Like,
Hands Across America.
I thought about that ending for fucking weeks, dog. I thought about that reveal of her
The others or whatever they were. called.
her being the original one stuck in that world. And god damn. Number 9.
Yeah.
That's why, man. Number 8, the old list, The Thing from 1982, and the new list, The Thing from 1982.
Okay.
Do I even need to say it? like what hasn't been said about this movie. It's on so many top 10 lists for a reason.
We have sucked this movie up quite a lot through this. Every show we've done,
Yeah.
even beta testers days.
The thing is just it's a staple, bro.
Mhm.
That's really all I
Okay.
Number 7, my old list, Sinister from 2012. And my new list, Sinister from 2012. It's voted the most psychological scary film of all time.
Mhm.
And I know that's kind of a niche
Mhm.
thing, but when you think about it, horror is psychological. The soundtrack that goes with it, the noises,
The use of the
the use of the 9mm cameras, the uneasiness, the tension.
Yeah.
It's fucking palpable. Like, the whole vibe of Sinister is absolutely sinister.
Mhm.
And that's why it's my number 7, no matter what. Number 6, old list was Stir of Echoes from 1999.
Which we've covered.
On the new list, it's Stir of Echoes from 1999. The book was very well translated into a movie, and that doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often where the author agrees with how the movie was and how the topics were handled, and the author did. The author loved it. Stephen King hates his fucking movies. Can't stand them. That just goes to show you how good the movie was. And the psychological aspects of that movie were wild. So, yeah. In a way, it makes you feel with that tension, too.
Mhm.
Like, ugh. Number 5.
If you want to hear a little bit more detail, it's like, oh my god, it's very early. We used Stir of Echoes, don't we? Isn't we did a Hard Wars on that? Yeah.
We did Stir of Echoes was one of the first films that we paired with
Horror
another
Club,
with
right?
a horror club.
Okay, so yeah, early horror club. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew the exact episode for that, but we definitely have covered Stir of Echoes.
Yeah. Stir of Echoes, I think, was after Suicide Club.
Think so?
Or was Suicide Club? Was that one of them? No,
No, we did do
we
that
did
one.
do that one.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
We've done so fucking many.
Yeah. Number 5 on the
Ooh,
old list.
Top 5.
Top 5 is The Conjuring from 2013. Number 5 on the new list is The Conjuring from 2013.
Fantastic film.
Box office smasher. Sepia-toned goddess.
Oh yeah. You ain't lying.
Motherfucker, that movie. Yeah. Oh, I feel you, poppers. That's it. You know. Number 4. My old list is Paranormal Activity from 2007. My new list is Paranormal Activity from 2007. Box Office Obliterator.
Started the whole webcam in the corner. Fucking. It basically got rid of the
rebirthed it.
It got rid of the shaky cam.
What it did was it did what Scream did for slashers. It rebirthed the shaky cam film.
Yeah.
Into that voyeuristic film.
Because then that split and turned into like the Unfriended series where it's like the webcam horror.
Yeah, the voyeuristic horror.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's because of Paranormal Activity that this genre is thriving so fucking hard.
Would you say that would be like technological horror at that point?
Kinda.
Because it uses technology for the scares.
I mean, at that point, One Missed Call should be on the list then.
Yeah, 100%.
Because One Missed Call was like wild as fuck.
That's a missed opportunity for a list of doom. That could have been for top 5 like
technological horrors. We could do that on one.
Yeah,
we'll just have to fit it together with something. Yeah,
and that's how we make horror wars.
So yeah, Paranormal Activity is
Yeah.
number 4 for a reason,
Makes sense.
obviously.
I like it.
Number 3, the rebirth to me of the Southern kill porn, kill, not porn, but the
Core porn? Is that what you mean? Like Saul type shit?
yeah, like that. I don't know what to call it, like,
I think the word porn threw you off.
but that's the first word that I thought of because that's
Titties and whatnot?
titties, quick takeaways.
Yeah.
But number 3 on my old list is House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003. Number 3 on my new list is House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003.
See, it's so funny because whenever I talk to any person like at work or whatever about horror, it's always split. Either people really love House and hate Devil's Rejects, or they love Devil's Rejects and hate House of a Thousand Corpses.
And then you have the rare ones that
Like both?
that don't even know House of a Thousand Corpses exists.
Yep, that too. I've had people look at me like I was weird.
Because because Devil's Rejects was such a commercial success.
Mm-hmm.
It overshadowed House of a Thousand Corpses.
And who doesn't love the Freebird ending?
Right, and who doesn't love the Freebird ending? But if it wasn't for House of a Thousand Corpses getting a massive theatrical release like it did,
Mm-hmm.
with the attention from Rob Zombie
Yeah.
and all that shit, you wouldn't have the Saw series. You wouldn't have things like Hostel and all that.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Because that's what got the interest back.
Yeah.
It pulled a Scream.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying, like that Texas grindcore
Yeah.
porn style.
I get what you're saying. Like a snuff film.
Yeah.
It felt like a snuff film. It does.
Yeah. So that's why House of a Thousand Corpses is number 3.
This is a very good list.
Number 2 on my old list was Scream from 1996.
I feel like this one's changed.
Number 2 on my new list is Evil Dead from 2013.
Kind of, yeah.
Evil Dead 2013 will forever be a cinematography masterpiece.
Platinum rank movie. S tier. Oh my goodness, these dogs.
It was my number 1 for a long time. And I kind of think what you had said previously about a personal versus a all around.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I loved Evil Dead 2013 because of the cinematography.
Yeah.
The direction. It was a box office smasher, in the world of horror.
Mm-hmm.
It went mainstream.
Yeah.
So I looked at it as like, wow, that's a big horror success. Yeah. Blood, nastiness, chainsaws, everything on a fucking cinematic opera style fucking movie, you know what I mean? But it didn't do what Scream did.
By the way, if you can hear dogs whining in the background, they're fine. It's because I'm out here with someone and they're in the house and they want to be in the mix. They're fine. They're just big wieners. Anyway.
And by the way, dangerous breeds, you hear those little whiny guys in there? Yeah. They are Doberman Pinschers and Rottweilers.
Yeah, big baby dogs.
Get them puppers off those fucking lists. Didn't do what Scream did.
Yeah.
Didn't do what Scream did. And I kept Scream at number 2 because of my personal bias, like back then.
Yeah.
But my personal bias versus my open-mindedness bias, after all the research I've done into Scream, how it brought back an entire dead genre, it was a fucking masterclass in filmmaking.
Yeah.
But yet it was so skewered by like the times of the day, like the times of the era, like it represented
Yeah.
everything very well. Like Scream really encapsulated what the 90s was
Right.
like the late 90s. That's how you define a fucking genre right there. So I'm sorry, but personally, objectively, and everything around, my new number one for my new list is Scream from 1996.
I figured that one. That's the only one I did. So what was your old number one? I didn't hear you say that one.
Evil Dead.
Okay. Yeah.
Evil Dead 2013 was my old number one.
Yeah.
But after I looked into everything, can't deny Scream its place in absolute movie history. Not just horror history, but like fucking movie history. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
That was a good list. Very good. They all make sense.
Somehow.
Okay. Get into mine.
I'm very excited for yours.
Yeah, quite a lot has changed. And I've gone into it kind of like how you just explained, with having the open-minded and personal bias being in both.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, personal lists are always going to have that kind of argument. You know what I mean? Me and Rock is here for an hour, but saying whatever his number 5 is better than mine, and mine is his for hours. You know what I mean? So, okay. So my number 10 on my old was Freddy vs. Jason of 2003.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of just sentimental value for watching it with my parents when I was a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My new number 10 is the Belko experiment from 2017.
Ooh.
The use of the psychological part of basically being at your everyday job turning into basically a war on the inside, where your own employees and friends and coworkers are killing each other to survive. An awesome twist ending, and it's pretty relevant to the years, so I don't want to spoil anything. But the Belko experiment is amazing. The cast is stacked as shit.
Oh yeah.
And I just think it's one of the more normal society horrors, because you can see that being some kind of experiment, some fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, that seems like even a more realistic horror than anything. So that's
I like
my
that.
number 10.
I like that, dude. There's a couple hits left, not much.
Yeah. So number 9. Don't mind the children; they're playing. They're the neighbors. Anyway, so my number 9, a movie that I believe should be at least in the top 20, is for my original list was A Quiet Place from 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But my new number 9 is the Texas Chainsaw remake from 2003. Because for me, that has a little bit of the open-mindedness and the personal bias at the same time. Because that was the movie that we talk about horror wars quite often.
Mm-hmm.
The more entry-level horror that people go through, to where it's not so graphic. It's a nice toe dip into horror.
Mm-hmm.
This to me was my entry into like the more like horrific, brutal horror with like, you know, the hook in the ceiling and all that. And I feel like it was kind of the revitalization of the Texas Chainsaw series too.
Oh yeah.
For like, you know, I guess from my age group growing up, because that was still considered the first one because it was a remake of the original.
Right.
So that was kind of another step towards me getting into the Leatherface, Freddy, Jason, all that kind of area of horror. So I believe it's got a big enough impact that it is at least number 9.
Dude, especially just the value of it alone, with the stat cast and all that. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I love your number.
Number 8 was my original list. Goodness, was The Mist from 2007, And my number 8 is The Mist from 2007.
Hey.
We were talking about Stephen King books, and
Yeah.
that is one of the best downer endings I have ever seen. The whole movie's great. So many questions, and they're never answered. And that ending is fucking top tier in shocking twists.
Yeah. I dig it, man.
My number 7 is, you can tell the personal bias of my original was Hide and Seek from 2005, which we talked about. Yeah. After rethinking, my new number 7 is The Strangers from 2008. Hide and Seek was just because that is probably one of the first horror films I've talked about plenty of times I ever watched. It was with my mom, so that holds sentimental value. But thinking about it, I believe 100%. I believe that The Strangers deserves at least number 8, because we talked about it in our recent episode of horror films. But the use of shadows, the different kind of methods they use.
Did not mean to cut in, but
No, you're good.
episode 40 of Horror Wars, which The Strangers was the horror club of Funny Games versus Funny Games. That is right now our second highest listened to episode.
Number 40?
Yes.
Nice.
People are really digging the changes.
Good.
So there you go. I'll go back into your list, bro. That was a perfect time to say something.
Number 6. My number 6 originally was 28 Days Later from 2002.
Mm-hmm.
My new number 6 is The Last Shift from 2014.
Ooh.
I think that is, again, one of the best, I guess you could call it a solo horror film, because it revolves around one character.
Yep.
And the rest makes you question everything.
Yep.
Is it a dream or a nightmare? Is it reality? What's going on?
Yep.
And it deals with it. I'm not going to spoil too much, because the remake is coming out soon too. Yeah.
The remake's out.
The remake is out. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is definitely one of those films that I would put on like you have to see before you die list, because it's a film that you don't think would be that great, and you'd probably be like, it's probably some poo-poo B flick. Give it a shot, please. So yeah, my new number 6 is The Last Shift.
Yeah.
My number 5 in my original was The Shining from 1980. My new number 5 is Sinister from 2012. I realized how much I really love that movie, and realized its full potential in this world. Like, of horror right now, it is such a good film that it's unsettling, and it's not even really a gory blood and guts. It's still realistic murders that have happened with children, and even the lore makes sense, and it's taken from the Bible. It's fucking great.
You know what? I will bet $1 American dollar that The Shining is in your top 3.
You would lose that bet, my friend.
Get the fuck out of here! What the fuck? Oh, whoa. Okay, all right. I was half invested. I mean, no, I was full invested, but now I'm full invested.
Yeah.
I am full send invested.
So my number 4 from my original was, again, this is my super biasness because I love the series, was Saw 3 from 2006. So right there I can see, because compared to the other ones that we've discussed and reviewed and all this shit, no. Saw 3 is nowhere near this shit. So right there was my super I'm just putting this movie in because it's my favorite ever. So number 3 at least. So, or number 4, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
My new number 4 is the Evil Dead remake from 2013.
Oh, brother.
That was actually that was my introduction to Evil Dead, because I had never seen the originals completely.
Oh.
My dad had a PS1 game he played. I was too scared as a kid to watch. And the movies were out on TV around that time, but I wasn't interested in horror because it was scary. Right. So watching that, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is a fucking great film. And I remember saying, I really like horror like that. I remember saying that. And I watched it and I was like, do we have more movies like this?
And we do.
There are plenty. But all of it, the creepiness, the use of the deadites, all of it, the fucking raining blood scene, all that shit, amazing. Metal as fuck, love it.
It was literally the soundtrack of Doom could go with that movie, and it would have been awesome.
100%.
Yeah.
Number 3. We're getting the top 3.
Yeah, I'm stoked here.
It's gonna be like and then a womp womp ending. I'm telling you.
Oh man, what the fuck?
So my number 3 in my original was Saw from 2004.
Uh-huh.
And my number 3 now is 30 Days of Night from 2007.
Wow.
It's on our hidden gem list, but the reason I didn't put the other ones on is because I think that is one of the best takes on vampires and horror that doesn't go to the original Dracula, Nosferatu days. I think when it comes to a final brutal horror film that makes sense on why they're out and about because of Alaska with its change in light and dark and days, and that's why they come out, and it's super graphic. Like the deaths are brutal as shit. The one of again a downer ending that I love made me get a little teary eyed. That is my number 3. But the other ones from our gem list are not on here because I feel like that would have been cheating in a sense because they're too much of Shining Diamonds. But I feel like out of all of them, that was my favorite. Is my favorite. Yeah. That I would say is Vampireness.
Your new top 10 is fucking me up, bro.
Well, my number 2 originally was Evil Dead Remake 2013. My new number 2, and it's gonna piss you off because I moved Evil Dead, but it is the original Saw from 2004.
No.
When I think overall in horror, that opened a new genre of torture porn.
Mm-hmm.
It got a little too in its head, and so did Hostel and all those. But that was one of another leap into horror for my age group.
Yeah.
Of horror. Yeah. So that's my new number 2.
Yeah. I don't think that's a womp womp at all.
Okay. And then my number 1 from my original was the Dawn of the Dead remake from 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 1 on my new top 10 is Dawn of the Dead remake from 2004. Yeah. That to me is the perfect zombie film.
Yep.
From beginning to end. Of course, it's got to get a little cheesy towards the end, but what movie doesn't? I feel like the beginning, all of that is the most perfect way to introduce zombies in the horror. So yeah, from like the very beginning of the movie, even until like the crash of the truck towards the end, it feels like what a real life situation of being in a zombie would be, in my opinion. I feel like the Dawn of the Dead remake fits it perfectly.
Yeah.
So I feel like even with that was again around my I can't say generation because we're not that far apart in age, but my age groups, again, introduction to horror because that was 2004, bro. So that was probably 7th, 8th grade type shit.
Yeah.
So that again was the remakes were bringing my age group up into horror.
Yeah.
So I feel like it put a big old stampy stamp into people's lives.
Nah, dude, I really dig your top 10, man.
And yours is just strong, so yeah, it didn't really need to change.
Yeah, yours. Look, your list is like the Vegeta to my Goku, and my list is like the Goku, the Vegeta to your Goku.
Yeah.
They're equal in power, and in some areas surpass the others, but in some areas rival.
Yeah.
And are neck and neck.
Yeah.
And that's dope. It's awesome. Your new top 10 has flourished your horror.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing is our top 10s reflect who we are with our horror identifiers.
Yeah.
I am very much psychological based because even though House of a Thousand Corpses is a Texas gore porn film, it's psychological as fuck.
Yeah.
Like they are psychologically torturing those motherfuckers. Yours is a very big reflection on the style of like the chase and quick horror films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really cool how our top tens are so intertwined, but yet so vastly different.
Right.
I fucking love it. It's dope. It's dope.
It was funny going back and looking at the original one because I can see a lot of the films, even though I love those ones in my original list, I was like, why the fuck? Hide and Seek is nowhere even close to that. Like, I love that movie personally, but as a movie itself, I don't even think it would be top 100. It's a good film, and I love it because of my sentimental connection to it. But other than that, I don't think it's what I would put in the top 10 now, knowing all these fucking movies that I do.
Yeah.
So, and even with Saw 3, love that film personally. I think it's the best one in the Saw franchise. I love the Saw franchise, even though it
Yeah.
fucking plummeted into Hades itself. But that, again, for me, I saw no need for it to be in even the fucking. I'd say top 30 would be where it would sit. But yeah, it's funny thinking back and even seeing my immaturity even just a year and a half ago when it came to horror because I was naming some of them I just recently saw. Like
Right.
shit like that. When this is more movies that I have seen and seen
Mhm.
multiple times now.
Yep.
And I could compare them and do my own horror war mentally. And here we are with the new list.
Yep. Yeah. I love your fucking list, man.
Yours as well.
Yeah. Yeah, high five on that one.
Mm.
We keep it real, cut.
Are we gonna
No affiliations.
No affiliations at all. Are you gonna make another one of them picture things like you did already?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make another one. You just gotta send me your new list. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Definitely good stuff.
Horror tube.
Alright. That it?
Yeah.
All right. Next week we got episode 41 of Horror Wars. And
I don't even know what that is.
yeah, we'll reveal it right now because I don't remember what it is. I'm not going to lie. On my way to the Horror Wars notes here, so we're killing some time.
Holy shit, you actually made it schedule like that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, ooh, episode 41 is gonna be good.
Ooh, come on.
House of Wax versus House of
Oh
Wax.
shit, that's another one that I could consider my age groups jump into.
And Tourist Trap is Horror
Oh
Club.
my gosh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. What a shit.
Yeah.
That's
Firing
nice.
on cylinders, dog. Woo. House of Wax versus House of Wax, baby, next week.
That's gonna be so hot.
Hell yeah, it is. So we'll see you guys, gals, non-binary pals, spooky cuties, hair-raising homies, freaks, geeks,
And buttholes.
freaks, geeks, and everything in between with a butthole next week on Horror Wars. But for now, this has been
Horror Tube. I'm Josh.
and I'm Rob. We have to do that every time now. Just say it completely backwards and just let it roll.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Bye guys.
Bye.